The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Variety Channel. For more information about our network and to check our additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericavariety.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Your new or existing home is one of your most important assets, yet too many people rely on sites, shows, and tips from people who are not in the real estate business when making important decisions. It's time to get real and trust a professional. This is Real Estate Today with host Deb Tomaro. In this series, you'll learn about making smart decisions when it comes to buying a home, selling a home, or even staying in the home you're in. Now, here is your host, Realtor Deb Tomaro.
Welcome to another fabulous edition of Real Estate. Today, I am your host, Deb Tomaro. I am joined today by the one and only best damn associate producer in the state of Indiana. We could probably extend that out into the entire country. Rachel, say hello.
Hello.
Rachel is once again standing in for Karen, who is out this week, and she'll be back soon. But luckily, we're not really talking about lender things today. We're doing a little bitching about realtors. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to turn into that. Okay, Rachel, so you're on notice to kick me under the table.
Keeping it positive.
Yeah, may keep it positive, and try not, sometimes I have to find a constructive way to express things that concern me. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to be overly critical. We all make mistakes. But anyways, we will get to that because we are going to talk today about what your realtor should be doing to market your home. So we're not going to talk about how to prep your home or what a realtor should be doing to help you prep your home for sale or how a realtor should be telling you how to price your home or anything like that. We're just going to focus on the small portion that is about marketing your home and how does your realtor go out and find buyers and get them through the door. So that specific part, I think one of the biggest challenges and one of the things that makes me love real estate so much and my job as a realtor is that it's so varied. Mm. And the marketing part of trying to get buyers through your door is just one small part. Mm-hmm. And there's, legal parts and there's staging parts and there's, all kinds of marketing myself, marketing my company, on and on and on and on. So it's just one small part, but it's an important part. So we're going to talk about that. Did you watch the debates last night, Karen? Rachel? Karen, you're not Karen. Rachel.
I can pretend, but I don't think I'd be nearly as knowledgeable about lending as Karen is.
We have all agreed that today is going to be a long day.
We have, and I did watch the debate last night.
Okay.
I didn't play the drinking game because it was we were advised to not.
Yes, because of blood alcohol poisoning.
Right, and I'm not a big drinker anyway, so I kept it at 3 beverages.
I have a funny story about a drinking game.
Yes.
So last week there's a teenage intern, a high school intern that works in this office, and she just helps realtors if they need anything done. And they were looking for something for her to do last week. And I said, well, I need some of my shows cataloged.
Sure.
Like broken down and topics and, from this minute to this minute, whatever. So we can use that and some marketing things. And so I was handing over some show outlines for her to use. And as I looked at one, I realized, we played a drinking game during that one.
Wait, how old was this intern?
Well, she was in high school.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, should I don't have anything else for her to do except the drinking game episode, which was probably sometime mid-April. We were debunking mortgage myths.
Oh, yes.
That was a 2-part series. There was a lot of drinking going on.
Yes, a lot of drinking going on there.
And you're supposed to drink every time I use the word debunk. Mm-hmm. So I had to stop and explain to her. And I don't have kids, so it's pretty funny to watch me lecture kids about, now, stay in school, don't do drugs, this drinking game, it wasn't fun.
It was just a joke.
It was, we were drinking milk.
Apple juice.
Strong bones, that kind of thing. So, I found myself backpedaling a little bit, and I was I think as she left the room, I go, don't tell your mom. That was pretty much.
And P.S., don't tell your mother.
Tell your mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, all right, well, I didn't watch the debate, so there you go.
Yeah.
I just did not.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid, but I thought with enough alcohol, I can get through this. Me and the rest of America can make it through this.
I think there was an American Pickers rerun on, and so we were like, bring it. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, well, I have some other big news.
Yeah.
And that is that I got an email yesterday from Zillow.
Zillow?
Yeah, Zillow emailed me.
Favorite.
I know.
Was it a cease and desist?
No, it will be after this show. Stick around. There's some good stuff. No, they wanted to let me know that they lowered the Zestimate on my house again.
Based on what?
I don't know. They lowered it $325. $325. So, as listeners may recall, if you've been listening to all the shows, and I don't remember, let me think here, which one was it? We talked about credit. Oh, man. I'll have to go back and figure out which one that was that we talked. But I went on to Zillow and I claimed my home because I was trying to fix the Zestimate. It had incorrect information. This was, I think, and it had that I had 1 bedroom and I have 5, and it had my square footage wrong, and it had some outbuildings not included, and on and on and on and on. And so it was saying that it was about $75,000 below where I think fair market value is as a real estate professional. Mm-hmm. And so I made all those changes, and then Zillow, I hit enter, was all excited, sat back, waited to see, I fixed it. Wow, I have an answer to Zillow, right? And then all those changes I made lowered my Zestimate by another $1,500. So, but anyway, so now that I've claimed my property, my home, it emails me every once in a while
to tell
as a friendly courtesy to tell me
your home is worth?
That it's lowered my Zestimate once again. It's done it maybe 5 times. It lowers it every time. Here's the part that I think is a little stunning. Think about it. I'm not going to tell you what my home is worth, but I mean, $325
seems specific.
Is like less than 1/10 of 1% of my home's value. And I'm sorry, but I'm not that good to get like that close on home value.
No.
You just can't get that close. It's bigger than a bread box. It's, it's
like a nice, was it like a cost of like a really expensive toilet? Or, I'm trying to
massaging toilet?
Quantify. Yes, I'm trying to quantify what $325 is. Like, what would cause them to lower
It's like if I replaced all the racks in my dishwasher.
There you go.
$325. I don't know. I can't explain it. So I'm proposing that no one can estimate a price that closely. And I know I've said this again. I'm just going to keep saying it because it's my damn show and I can say whatever I want. Home value is not black and white. You cannot input data into a spreadsheet, which I'm assuming is what happened. My guess is that some property nearby mine sold. Mm-hmm. And it could have been that $95,000 house down the street because I live out in the country and there's just a wide range of homes.
Right.
And they then threw that in and somehow decided that impacted my home's value by $325.
Interesting.
I don't even know. So there you go. We're going to talk about Zillow a little bit more coming up.
Good.
Okay, and what else did I have? Oh, but speaking of which, now let's talk about smart numbers for a second. And this kind of goes along with today's topic because today's topic really is at the end of the day, I want the sellers to feel empowered, that they have more knowledge and they can go in as a better seller with a better relationship with our realtor and feel like they have some accountability in the sale of their home. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like sometimes I look at things and I think, I'll see a listing and we're going to talk about this and, it's fraught with errors, and I think, where's the seller?
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm judging the realtor. Sure, absolutely, I'm judging them. But I say that jokingly. I don't judge people.
Of course.
But I might be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, where's the seller? Why are they not standing up for themselves and saying, this is incorrect, realtor?
Right.
You need to get correct information. So that's sort of my goal, is that I feel like, sellers need to play a part in the sale of their home. It's just as you do as a buyer, you need to be accountable for the decisions you make because it's the most expensive thing you're probably ever going to buy. This is the most expensive thing you're ever going to sell too. And so you need to be accountable. You need to be involved. So part of that is I wanted to share something because I was thinking about this today. Some new numbers came out and our state has some great numbers. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, you know what? Probably every state has these similar great numbers, and they do. So what you need to do is go online and Google whatever your state is, Association of Realtors. Mm-hmm. So in Indiana Association of Realtors. If you're in Oklahoma Association of Realtors. And then type in market data is probably a good search engine number. And you should come up with data specific to your state. And as you drill down, you can find data that's even specific to your county. I don't think that as a seller you need to memorize this, but I think it's really good information. There's tons of data, so don't let yourself get overwhelmed. When you pull up the first, like for Indiana, it's like teeny tiny print.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not even, there's 2 pages of this.
Yeah, because those are just counties, right?
Yep, because it's listed by county. But what it's showing is 2 different things. It's showing last year. So this one's for August, I think. Yeah, because September's not over with. Mm-hmm. August 2015 versus August 2016. So it's showing us a year over year. What's changed? How many properties have sold last year compared to this year in the month of August? And what's the median price? And so most of these by county are showing, some pretty decent increases in price. And so that's a year over year, which is really useful. You can also look up year to date, and you can also look up a trailing 3 months or 12 months. So a trailing would be what are the last 3 months, and it sort of keeps rolling. So there's 2 ways to look at this. You want to look at year over year. How's this year different than last year? But then you also want to look at the trailing to see what the trend is overall. Sure. But there's really good information here. Again, I encourage you, though, to not look at your state as much as your county. So drill down to your county. One of the things that I use this report for that I think is really interesting is sometimes you get someone from a different county moving in, and you need to kind of explain why one county may be different than another. We live in Monroe County down here in Bloomington, Indiana, and about 50 miles up the road, Marion County, Indianapolis, can be a very different market. We've had an increase, this August over 2015 August, our sales were up 4.2%, and Marion County was up 18.5%. Wow. It's just different.
Yeah. And that's not even an hour away.
Exactly. It's 50 miles up the road. And then I always laugh because the other one, too, is Lawrence County. Is from my house 5 miles.
Yeah.
And that had a decrease of almost 16% sales August over August. So you need to kind of understand that. So I use that sometimes to show what county are you in and is it different when I'm looking at the overall state report. But I love to go and look at the county report. And again, there's different iterations of this. And if you're engineers, you'll love this.
Oh, yeah. This is just data for days.
Yeah, exactly. But it's good information, that it's saying in new listings in Monroe County, in my county, we had 203 listings in August 2015, new listings, and we had 181 in August of 2016. So that was a 10%, almost 11% decrease from 2015 to 2016. That speaks to the fact that all the realtors are saying, hey, we have a shortage.
Right.
We don't have enough inventory. We have buyers and we don't have houses.
Sellers.
And so that's a good way to kind of, help people see that. And year to date, we're down about 8% over last year of homes available to sell. So again, we're seeing that as well. I know numbers make really exciting radio. But these are good links. They are out there for anybody in the public to see. They're put on by your state's Association of Realtors. So, it's legit numbers.
Sure.
It's not a real estate firm trying to spin things one way or the other, or CNN or Lester Holt or anybody like that trying to. I hear that he didn't do well last night. I don't know. Is that true?
He's really getting put through the ringer today.
Okay, poor Lester.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice man.
Good old Lester.
So look that information up and, ask your realtor to help educate you if you don't understand what this stuff means, because there's a lot of numbers there, but that's really powerful information, and I want to empower you as a seller. So we're going to empower you more when we come back from break, so hang in there. You're listening to Real Real Estate Today with Deb Tomaro. We'll be right back.
The Internet's #1 talk station. #1 talk station. VoiceAmerica.com.
Are you interested in buying or selling a home? Not sure what the next step is? Deb can help. Go to realrealestatetoday.com and click on Start Here. You'll be asked a few simple questions, and Deb will personally contact you to help answer your real estate questions and connect you with a realtor in her personal nationwide network of realtors. So even if you aren't in Deb's service area, you're guaranteed to find a good match wherever you are. Visit realrealestatetoday.com.
You count. Tune into Inner Revolutionary Radio and join the spontaneous wave of people all over the planet who, like you, are changing our world from the inside out. Follow the movement. Meet guests who are shaking things up. Call in and gain insights and courage to empower your own voice. Large or small, your part counts. So join us. Co-hosted by Beth Green and James Maynard, Inner Revolutionary Radio airs live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America Variety Channel.
You've heard of good things coming in packages. Well, maybe there's a little more to that saying. But when you think about it, packaging is one of the most important things that can represent your business. Tune into Ditch the Box with host David Marinak. Each week, we'll discuss flexible packaging, marketing, sales, and how it all comes together in one container. Lower costs, increased margins. Listen to the show. It might just save you a ton. Ditch the Box is heard live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific on Voice America Variety.
Streaming live, the leader in Internet talk radio, voiceamerica.com.
You are listening to Real Estate Today. To reach Deb tomorrow or with questions and comments about the show, please send an email to Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. That's Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. Now, back to this week's program.
Thanks for coming back. Please do email me. I do read them and I do respond. Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. And look me up on Facebook if you're following along. Some of the links that we were talking about in the last segment are going to be up there. And that is Deb Tomaro, Realtor. And my last name is Tomaro, even though autocorrect doesn't want to accept that.
Autocorrect doesn't like my last name either.
What does it do to your last name?
No middle of the word capitalization.
Oh, because you got a D kind of thing going on.
A lot of vowels and
yeah. I love autocorrect, which autocorrect actually is applicable to today's show topic because Absolutely. I think the autocorrect may be the culprit for some of my complaints.
Maybe.
So every so often, I get a call from someone. This probably happens a few times a year. I get a call from someone who has had their house listed for sale, but the home didn't sell. And I totally understand that the sellers are looking for a reason why.
Sure.
And often it's easiest to point fingers at the realtor. Mm-hmm. We get that a lot. Mm-hmm. So today I thought I'd talk about, what are the things that your realtors should be doing to market your property. Again, we're not talking about advising you on price or guiding the transaction to closing or the million other things that realtors do on a daily basis, but just what are the things that they should be doing to get a buyer to walk through your door? Sometimes I think that the sellers misdirect their frustration. I've taken a lot of joy over the years in trying to learn from that so that I set better expectations up front. I don't know that realtors always do that. So I have some speeches that I give them about why is it better that other realtors show your house and not necessarily me? Because that's one complaint I hear all the time. That I say, well, why are you looking to make a change? Well, my last realtor never showed my house. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
That's not necessarily.
I'm intrigued, yeah.
Yeah, because you've never sold a house before, right?
Again, no. I'm
ask questions along the way.
Buyer.
You are the voice of the people today.
All right.
Okay, so ask
Hell
along.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I do think, like we talked about, sellers need to take accountability. Yes, they hired a professional to do a job, but the seller is still an active part in that. You don't just go to a doctor and let them start cutting into you, right? It was kind of graphic, but you do your research, you do your preparation. You ask questions, and at least you should. And I remember some clients coming to me a few years ago, and they kind of said the same thing. They wanted to make a change in realtors. And they said their realtor told them, and we kind of laughed about it at the time, realtors don't sell homes, homes sell homes. And, I understand what he actually meant by that.
Yeah.
He meant that a good home that shows well and is priced well and is located well, like in a hot market, is not going to take a whole lot of marketing effort. And that may be true. But I don't list a lot of those kinds of homes.
Yeah, not every home is the perfect home.
Right, exactly. And so, it's not always that easy. And I know that realtor wanted it to be that easy, but it isn't always. And certainly, sellers are like, I'm paying a commission and they want to see some activity too. I mean, honestly, sometimes you do things just so that there's activity and there's something going on, because as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to sound like I'm drunk right now, and I'm not. But, there's what did we call it? It wasn't actualization, but what was it a few shows
Visualization?
ago? Was it visualization, or it was, oh, crap, I forget now. I have to look that up. But, sending out positive vibes.
Right.
What is that called?
Turning thoughts into things.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Okay. Yeah, we've slept since then.
Yeah.
But it's, there's something about just sort of sending out positive vibes into the universe and acting like the house is going to sell.
Right.
So, we talked about packing up and doing some things like that and just sending those vibes out. So sometimes in real estate, I feel like I'm just doing things. I don't know if they'll, I maybe don't feel super confident that they're going to make a huge difference, but I'm acting as though it will and sending out those positive vibes. I know that sounds crazy. I'm seriously, let's go sing Kumbaya right now. But
it matters. It really does make a difference.
Yeah. So as we go through these things today, I am also going to give you some nuggets of information. I'm going to call out Gem. I don't know why I came up with that. I know it's stupid, but I don't really care. Well, it reminds me, when I have a story.
Yes.
Oh, of course I do,
Please
right?
tell. Yeah.
One time at band camp.
Oh.
Swear.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So I was drum major of my high school marching band for several years. And one of the first years, we were sent to band camp in Whitewater, Wisconsin. University of Wisconsin at Whitewater, very nice campus. I barely remember it. That was like 30 years ago. But we would have classroom education in the mornings, and they would make us take notes. And when there was something that they had said that was really important, they would go start thought, and we'd all have to put a little star in our notebook by whatever we were starred thought.
Oh, starred thought.
Like,
gotcha.
and we'd star it.
That.
So I was like, I should start something like that on my show.
Gem.
This is a gem. It's a little nugget. It's a little gem, right? That doesn't sound too full of myself, does it?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's get to talking. So the first thing, obviously, and most of these things are really obvious, it's not just doing them, though, it's doing them well. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So obviously your listing needs to be in the MLS, the multiple listing service. That's the local database. So what happens, I always explain this to clients, when I get a new listing, I input it into my local database. Okay. And then that information is going to get fed out to a million different databases in a million different ways that I couldn't even begin to understand and explain to you. There's feeds and syndicates and all kinds of crazy stuff that I don't feel like I necessarily need to understand. Right. No. I just want to know that my listings are there. So obviously everybody's going to put your listing into the MLS. That's an important way to make sure that realtors can see it. But what I wanted to explain or ask people is, what's your local database? Because a lot of people don't realize that. When I ask people, where are you looking for homes, they say Zillow and Trulia, maybe homes.com, maybe realtor.com, because they're doing some good advertising to kind of get some knowledge. But there's usually a local database as well. In my market, it's homefinder.org. But because we're a small local board of realtors, even though that's the public side, it certainly isn't as robust as some of these, fancy or slick or anything as the Zillow and the Trulia. So a lot of people don't look there. Now, Realtor.com is partly owned and overseen by the National Association of Realtors. So that's a great site as well for you to look at homes. And my point is, you want to make sure that your home is out on all of those websites.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah, please do.
So you're saying while this is your realtor's job to make sure that your home is listed on all these sites.
Yes.
You're suggesting that the seller go to these sites to double check.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know people might be like, well, that's not my job.
I think it is.
But I think it is.
I mean, if I hire somebody to do a job, am I just going to assume that they've done it?
Right.
Or am I going to check and make sure that they're doing what they've said they're going to do?
Exactly. I think you have an obligation. It's like you're somebody's boss when you hire. And so if you're somebody's boss, you're going to follow up and make sure that the work was done correctly.
Absolutely.
So there is, I'm going to read this article because it's funny and because it talks about Zillow and it bashes Zillow a little bit. Because that being said, so I put my listing into a local database and it gets fed out to all these. It's going to go to Realtor.com for sure. But it may not go to Zillow or Trulia or some of these other websites because not all realtors subscribe to all the same syndicates and feeds and all that stuff that I don't understand. So you need to ask the question up front, do you advertise on all the big websites? So I found I don't know, what is Reddit?
Reddit is the front page of the internet. Okay.
Apparently I don't read the front page.
Nope.
So it's just a place where people kind of like post questions and there's discussion?
For really, what's always amazed me about Reddit, yes, you're right. It is, you can post a discussion about anything and people around the world can respond and you can discuss. What has always baffled me about Reddit is it's the visuals. It is so low tech.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Yet if it wasn't on Reddit, it's like it doesn't exist, So it's really an interesting internet anomaly.
Okay, well, I need to get on board, I guess. So I was doing some Googling because I was, looking for some stories beyond just my stories for this show today. And I stumbled across this person who posted their handle is Smelly Finger. This is going to get a little raunchy. This whole thing is going to get a little raunchy for a couple minutes. So if you want to turn the volume down, that's fine. But we'll be back in a couple. This person, Smelly Finger, says, this is a year ago. I just put my house up for sale, and it's shown on Realtor.com and a few other websites. I checked Zillow, and it wasn't updated to show my newly listed house. When I asked my agent why my house isn't shown on Zillow, her response was, it will not automatically load to Zillow. Our company policy does not allow that since there is so much erroneous data on that site and we have no control over what they do with your data once it's been uploaded to the site. And they kind of go on with some frustration about that. And then they go back and they edit the post afterwards after a ton of people. It's 36 pages long. I went to print out the whole post and I did not. I only printed the first 4. It's 36 pages and I do want to go back and read it because it was getting pretty comical in parts. But anyway, she edited it at one point. I don't know, Smelly Finger, she or he? Let's go with he. He said, edited to say, cool, looks like I struck a nerve with you agents out there. Here's the thing. Nobody gives a shit that agents hate Zillow and other sites. Bottom line is that buyers looking for homes use Zillow more than any other website to find homes. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree that is the bottom line and we need to suck it up and do that. But here was one response from, let's see, who was this person? Fairly Quiet. No, is it Fairly Quiet? I'm not sure, who says, the problem is that, I'm going to edit this because I don't talk like Rachel with the
I could read it.
Exactly. The problem is that Zillow has done an absolutely fun-flipping-tastic job of generating customer traffic while doing absolutely horrible flipping work on the listing side. They know that a large amount of their information on listings is out of date, invalid, incorrect, etc. Where this would normally be unacceptable, they're leaning on the fact that they're number one and just telling everybody who's concerned about correct info and reputation to go on and suck it.
There you go.
Zillow's top dog CEO came out and said as much when asked about inaccuracies on his site causing customers to get upset. He said, paraphrasing, well, hey, even if a new customer called you and got mad that a home they wanted to buy actually got sold 6 months ago, now you have a new client. You real estate people should be happy. So some good discussion on that. My point was, and I know I kind of went astray a little bit there. My point was that not everybody uses Zillow.
Yeah.
So that's something you want to make sure is that you understand what websites your home is on. So here's my gem for this MLS. Have you gone and looked up your listing on the major websites? Ask your friends what websites they look at homes on and make sure your home is well represented there. I think that's really important. We're going to talk a little bit more about listing data and accuracy, and there should be some good things coming up. So stick around. We're going to take another break and we'll be right back. You're listening to Real Estate Today. I'm your host, Deb Tomaro. We'll be right back.
Streaming live, the leader in Internet Talk Radio, VoiceAmerica.com.
Are you interested in buying or selling a home? Not sure what the next step is? Deb can help. Go to realrealestatetoday.com and click on Start Here. You'll be asked a few simple questions, and Deb will personally contact you to help answer your real estate questions and connect you with a realtor in her personal nationwide network of realtors. So even if you aren't in Deb's service area, you're guaranteed to find a good match wherever you are. Visit realrealestatetoday.com.
In the spirit of Have Couch Will Travel, Dr. Carol Lieberman creates a haven of sanity in an increasingly insane world. Each day we are bombarded with news of events that have never crossed our wildest nightmares. Society is spiraling out of control and everyone is reeling from it. But now there's an answer. The best way to keep sane in this insane world is to tune in to Dr. Carol's Couch on Voice America. Dr. Carol, a certified media psychiatrist, will broadcast live from her Beverly Hills office every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Call or log in and get help with whatever is sending you reeling, whenever you need a soothing voice to calm and advise you. That's Dr. Carol's Couch every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on America's Voice, voiceamerica.com.
Tune in to The Patricia Raskin Show on voiceamerica.com every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 11 a.m. Pacific Time. This is the program that helps you turn obstacles into opportunities, challenges into solutions, and find answers to tough questions with the award-winning powerhouse voice of radio, Patricia Raskin. So tune in and call in to The Patricia Raskin Show, Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right here on the Voice America Variety Channel.
The Internet's #1 talk station. #1 talk station. VoiceAmerica.com.
You are listening to Real Estate Today. To reach Deb tomorrow or with questions and comments about the show, please send an email to Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. That's Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. Now, back to this week's program.
All right, thanks for coming back. We are going to stay on topic, I swear, because I'm going to get through these next 2 points before the end of the show if it kills me. So we've been talking today about what should your realtor be doing to market your home and get buyers through the door. And again, it's nothing like beyond creative. It's just doing what you need to do and doing it really well. So the first thing that we talked about was making sure that your home is listed on all the major websites. The second thing is make sure that listing information is accurate. It just as important that the listing is there is that it's accurate, it's easy to read, it's meaningful, it's grammatically correct. Well, that may just be my pet peeve.
I get pretty upset about grammatical errors as well.
If you have any hopes of selling your home to an English major, I highly recommend that you make it right. Exactly, grammatically correct. Have you ever seen a walk-in panty?
I would love to see a walk-in panty.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you?
Not the thing, but I've seen the words.
Yeah.
Or a big back dick. I'm sorry. I know we are like all raunchy today. I'm sorry, Mom. I think she gave up on listening to me anyways. But yes. Holy cow. Yeah. You'll understand the importance of proofreading. And I swear this is all true. These are all things I have seen with my own eyes. I pulled up just a couple of other examples, and I know Rachel's going to have fun over the next few days posting everything she can. Yes. But call for privates showing. 3-bedroom, 1 bedroom.
A very bad room.
But this one, okay, now this one is serious. If your home is on Polar Lane when it's actually on Poplar, I see that all the time. It's like, really? Why can I not find this house in the MLS? I'm trying to do a search for it because the street isn't spelled correctly. But then it's like, well, if my client likes it, I don't say anything to the other agent because then no one else can find it either. So it gives me a chance to get people in. You know what I'm saying? But oh my gosh, yeah, that happens more than you think. The same holds true. I mean, if your home is, the school district is incorrect, if the zip code is wrong, if the number of bedrooms is misstated. Oh gosh, there was a house recently. It had like 1 bedroom and 6 bathrooms. I was like, incontinence issue? I don't know.
One in every closet.
There were some other examples. Bring us your fuzziest buyers instead of fussiest buyers.
Real warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, real fuzzy. I have to do some of these other ones because they're hysterical. Well, this is getting now saying, you know, you could potentially get yourself in trouble too if the information isn't accurate.
Even if it looks like just a typo, it could also be perceived as just a flat out error or lie.
Right.
And then you're pissing people off.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, if the buyer gets their first tax bill and it's twice what they were thinking it was and they trusted the MLS listing, then, the first thing they're going to do is go to a lawyer. I promise you. I wrote an offer yesterday on a property for a buyer, and the listing agent told me right before we wrote the offer, she goes, I have the price wrong. And it was lower than what we were thinking the whole time.
Damn good thing.
So we were like, sweet, that's kind of nice. But had she not, if it had been corrected 2 weeks after we had the accepted offer and we had written it thinking it was a higher price, that would have been bad.
Yikes.
Been bad. So you certainly want to make sure that everything is right. You want to proofread that. Let's see if I had a couple other examples. Oh, this is a good one. Here is another one. The Renaud kitchen offers a large butler-style panty prep space. The pantry seems to be getting us. And then this is where it starts to get really grammatical. Like the kitchen with granite countertops, a new faucet flows into the dining room. Like plumbing error.
I hope not.
Right.
I really hope not.
This one, a home perfect for the disconcerting buyer instead of discerning, which reminds me of now I'm going to get off topic for a second. I remember when I worked for a large company, the HR person sent something out and she wanted to say sorry for the inconvenience, and she said sorry for the incontinence.
Sorry, I peed on you.
Sorry for the incontinence. So anyways, now back to, we've come full circle here.
Yes, here we are back
to
autocorrect. The topic. Mm-hmm.
So you can't just trust the squiggly red line that tells you something is misspelled. You have to make sure that it is the correct word as well. I've always felt that a realtor should have the thesaurus open on their computer or in a book next to them or something.
And a second pair of eyes. I always have somebody else read what I wrote. And I also always read it out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it sound ridiculous?
How about this one? Great investment. Very hard to find this location. You just missed one word.
Yep.
In this location. But, ideal for small professional families, which the writer of this article says, no point taking an amateur family to see.
No
just
amateurs,
professional.
please.
And then I like this one, too. And sometimes realtors get a little creative. They created a brand new word out of sunny and stunning. So it's a stunny bungalow. Stunny bungalow.
Stunny bungalow.
Yeah. And then here, I'm going to leave this one as the last one because this is pretty good. This is her all-time favorite. It's my all-time favorite, too. So when you buy a condo, a lot of times snow removal is included.
Sure.
In it. Mm-hmm. Condo fees include snot removal. Boom, drop the mic, done. Proofread. So there's a realtor around here that only types in capital letters, and her stuff always comes back incorrect.
Why
because
are you
it's like you
at
can't.
me?
Yeah, I know, but you can't even.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is it, and her listings are all in capital letters, but it's like there's always errors everywhere because you can't even, spell check doesn't even get when you write in all capital letters. So, I've seen a 900 square foot home listed with 6 bathrooms, just a hot mess. So, an inaccurate listing can cause you not only to lose potential buyers, but it can also make the buyer feel like this is not going to be a smooth and professional transaction. I promise you, when my buyers are like, well, but the listing says, or, there's something that's just off, they're kind of like, okay, well, what's up? And they start to get concerned about how the transaction in general is going to go. If the listing's done sloppily, what's the rest of the transaction going to be like?
Right.
In addition to the accuracy in terms of wording and grammar and all that stuff, you certainly also want to present a clear and accurate picture of the property that you're listing. I think certainly realtors want to market things in the best light possible. But I'm not going to say, hey, this property's on a really busy street and it has crappy old windows, so you're going to have to turn your TV volume up to 22.
Right.
I'm not going to say that, but I am going to explain if there's something funky with the property. Like I had this listing recently, and it was a really, really cool property. Actually, it was sat on an acre, but was close in town. It had this brick house, and it's really, really cool. But the bathrooms were a little bit older, and like one of them was kind of a former basement bathroom, so it was sort of cinder blocky. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, here's some pictures. It's a little unpolished.
Sure.
Certainly has potential.
Room for potential.
But I'm not going to be like, this bathroom's amazing, because it's not. I'm not going to mislead you. I'm going to be honest, because the transaction is going to go smoother if that's how you do it, or if you're kind of honest and upfront from the beginning. I don't want a buyer to be surprised about that. So I remember learning in real estate class the term puffing. Have you heard of that?
I guess, as in...
No, not that kind of puffing. Rachel looks.
You mean exaggerating?
Yeah,
things, kind of puffing.
I wanted to look up a formal definition of it, and like on Wikipedia or one of those, they call it puffery.
Puffery,
which I like.
Puffery.
I know. I prefer puffery to puffing.
puffer.
So in law, puffery is a promotional statement or a claim that expresses subjective rather than objective views, which no reasonable person would take literally. It serves to puff up an exaggerated image of what's being described. So realtors do this all the time.
Oh yeah,
it's not lying.
Fancy language.
There you go.
Those $12 words out.
And even it's just stuff like, is that kitchen really amazing? Is that view really spectacular? I don't know. What's amazing? Can you think of anything that's amazing?
I can think of a lot of things that are amazing. Kitchens don't
Not
usually
so
bowl me over.
I'm thinking like a 3-year-old who's playing Beethoven flawlessly on a violin. Amazing.
Pretty
kitchen. Pretty nice kitchen.
I would say impressive.
Yeah. So that's puffery. Or spectacular. Grand Canyon, spectacular. The backyard with 3 trees. Maybe not so much.
No.
So that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just sort of part of doing the job. But, you certainly want to present as honest a picture as possible.
Well, you want an enthusiastic realtor, but a realistic enthusiasm.
Right. Right. There's nothing worse than having showings and then the feedback's like, I didn't realize that the floors were falling in, or something like that. That's just like, we should have probably put that out there to begin with. So my gem here, sellers, listen up, review your listing in detail, make sure it's accurate, make sure it's complete, have your friends read it, and make sure it's clear. Give your realtor the data to help them craft a complete listing. What are the utility costs and what is a list of improvements? I love asking why my sellers bought the house. What made you choose this house when you were buying a home? Because that's usually kind of part of how I frame my marketing is I'm like, okay, well, if they loved it for these reasons, then that's probably going to be why it sells again. So I usually end up using that to create my listing data. As a corollary to accurate data, I think having complete data is really important as well. I see a lot of listings that don't even have anything in the listing description, don't have tax information, don't have
nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Oh yeah, completely blank, nothing. Buyers today want as much information as possible online without having to pick up the phone. I remember an agent who used to do some advertising in one of like the little paper magazines that realtors don't really use that much anymore. But he would put his listings in there, but he wouldn't put prices. And the theory is, well, I want them to call me because then I'll pick them up as a buyer. That's fine, and that maybe did work, in the olden days.
Right.
But it doesn't work with today's buyers. They want is
so that would just piss me off, and I'd be like, I don't want to work with this guy.
And but that's what. With today's buyers, they just go, I'm moving on to the next house that has the information that I want in front of them. So again, giving that information, I create floor plans for all my listings because I want people to get a feel for how is the house laid out and gather as much info. And it's nice for the sellers too, if you can provide as much information as possible, then you don't waste a lot of time on unmeaningful showings.
Sure. Well, and that's the thing. If you're providing all of this stuff up front, again, saving both the potential buyer a lot of time and yourself repeating the same things over and over again.
Exactly. So, again, kind of the same thing. The gem of this segment is help your realtor find complete data. But again, reviewing your listing to make sure that the information's complete. Give the listing. Here's your hint. Give the listing to a few people who've never been in your home, and ask them what questions they might have. And then see if you can work the answers to those questions into the listing or let your realtor know. I had some friends, they looked at the listing, they wanted to know if the fireplace was gas or wood. Can we put that in the listing somewhere?
That's a really good idea.
Super simple to do that. So, and again, I had a note in here as I was writing my outline because I was like, yes, I know. Your realtor should be doing something similar. I love, doing little focus groups and sending listings out and say, just give me your impression of this listing that we've created. But this is, again, get involved. This is a team effort. So that is my gem there. All right, we are going to take one last break and then talk about photos, which should be fun. And we'll talk about my top 10 things to avoid in real estate listing photos. So stick around. This is Real Estate Today. We'll be right back.
Stimulating talk.
Gets those synapses in the brain firing really fast.
All the time. The number one internet talk station where your opinion counts. VoiceAmerica.com.
Are you interested in buying or selling a home? Not sure what the next step is? Deb can help. Go to realrealestatetoday.com and click on Start Here. You'll be asked a few simple questions, and Deb will personally contact you to help answer your real estate questions and connect you with a realtor in her personal nationwide network of realtors. So even if you aren't in Deb's service area, you're guaranteed to find a good match wherever you are. Visit realrealestatetoday.com.
Are you finding your frequency? It can be described as that space between failure and success. It's the future of digital media. It's finding your voice. It's engaging topics, content, and ideas. Jeff and Ryan discuss the digital media space and all of its aspects. It's about making the mistakes, taking the chances, summoning the intestinal fortitude to step out of your comfort zone, and discovering what you can accomplish when you decide to try, decide to learn, decide that you have something to say, and find your frequency. Live Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Tune in each week for Monica Phillips and Powerful Conversations. This is a thought-provoking show for business people, leaders, and entrepreneurs. We'll feature today's thought leaders and industry trendsetters from across several locations and industries. Give yourself permission to be inspired and live a fulfilling life. Be sure to listen to Powerful Conversations, live every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 noon Eastern Time, on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Streaming live. The leader in internet talk radio. VoiceAmerica.com.
You are listening to Real Estate Today. To reach Deb Tomaro or with questions and comments about the show, please send an email to Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. That's Deb at realrealestatetoday.com. Now, back to this week's program.
Thanks for coming back. We are in our last segment, known as the segment where Deb speaks really, really fast because I still have 4 pages to get through.
Speed talk.
Yeah, probably not going to happen. So we may be doing a part 2 on this, but we're going to be talking today about things that your realtor should be doing as a seller. You want to listen up, things that your realtor should be doing to get people through the door. And really, I mean, the big part of it is just presenting a clear and accurate picture. So we've talked about the MLS, making sure it's on the right websites, making sure that the information is accurate and complete. Now, photos.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Photos are almost, in my opinion, more important than words in the listings. Match.com, gotta have photo, right?
Gotta have a
You're
photo.
not going to get a date if you don't have a photo. It's kind of the same
Nobody
philosophy.
trusts that guy.
Right.
You know?
Do you ever look for homes online? I know you're not really looking, but do you ever
Sometimes.
Like, and what's the first thing you do when you
I go with photos first.
You click on the pictures, right?
Yeah.
If the house doesn't have pictures,
I move on.
you move on. Right. So first thing is, you got to have pictures, man. Now, I know your house is tenant occupied and it's a hot mess. You're going to have to figure something out.
Yep.
You got to have pictures.
Got to make it work.
It is not going to sell, I promise you, if you don't have pictures. You need good pictures. So, you know, if you don't have pictures on Match.com, you get no date.
Right.
What if you have a picture, but it's fuzzy and you have spinach in your teeth?
Ew.
Probably still not going to get a date,
No
right?
date.
Exactly. That's what this is all about. So, and I don't know. This is where I get in this whole, like, where are these sellers? Are you not?
Is no one paying attention to this listing? Yeah.
I don't get it. Obviously, if you follow me online, please follow me online.
Yeah.
We post all the time, terriblerealestateagentphotos.com and any other bad realtor photos. I can't post any from our local real estate. I did once accidentally. I didn't realize. Someone sent it to me and they were like, this is a really funny picture. And it was just, there was like this mega jumbo pack of toilet paper sitting on top of the TV in the picture. And I was like, could the realtor not have moved that?
Yeah,
just
one
move
thing.
it
Just move
behind
it.
you on the floor
Sure.
for the picture
Anywhere.
and then put it back.
Anywhere else.
You know, and so and I put it up and then I got in trouble because it was a local realtor and I was like, oh, I didn't mean that. Well, sorry. So anyways, I can't do that. If you're not a realtor, you can do that.
Yeah.
For sure. And I have several clients that actually, that's our thing. That's how we stay in touch with each other, is that we're always like sending, so they'll be like, send me an address and then like, picture number 13 or whatever, and you'll go back to the listing. And there was one, it had it was so weird. Like, it's not just bad pictures, but it's like weird pictures that kind of distract you from what you're trying to sell.
Right.
There was this one that had this like a Spider-Man car through the window. It was just like really odd, And then like ones with little children in the background. But anyways, I thought I would go and tell you kind of my top 10 things that you need to pay, pet peeves, I guess. And then I'm going to go take a Valium because the show will be over because I'm going to get all worked up. So here's number 1. Toilet seats up.
Put them down.
Put them down.
2 seconds.
I don't need to see that. Please. I don't know. Is that just me?
No, I think it's pretty much everyone.
I see it for showings too, and I'm like, can you just
put the damn thing down?
Just put it down. Oh my gosh. Okay, number 2, wrong season pictures.
Yeah.
So you like list the house in February and there's snow on the ground, and in July it's still for sale and there's still snow on the ground in the pictures. It just sends out the message of, hey, my house has been on the market for a really long time.
Now, I read a tip was to always photograph your home in spring.
Yeah.
Because that's when it looks best.
Yeah.
Is that something you agree with?
No, I always run around in May and September and tell people, hey, take pictures of your house. You never know when you're going to hit the lottery and you need to sell your house because you're moving to Fiji.
And it looks beautiful in May and September.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I've actually got some listings that aren't ready to go up yet. They will later this year, but my photographer's going out this weekend to take some exterior pictures. So we have that. Speaking of which, I do use a professional photographer. It's not expensive. I don't have that skill set. I don't have that equipment. It's so much better when you have someone professionally doing it than taking iPhone pictures. Yeah. I promise you. Realtors and mirrors, that's a fun game. That is a fun game. It's hard to photograph bathrooms. It really,
you
really is.
Have to do
You're like
contortion,
standing on the toilet tank, and you get those are the pictures you get that are like this weird angle down. And you're like, how'd you get up there? Or standing in the shower, or trying to hold a door open with your foot. It's a hot mess. But realtors and mirrors, I'm always like, I always get distracted when I'm showing like we're looking at pictures of listings online with clients, and we're sitting in my office looking at the computer, and then I'm always like, oh look. There's one.
Look, there's
like,
Realtor Tomaro.
And I'm like, I win. Wait for me. In general, people in pictures, that most board of realtors don't allow that.
Really?
I mean, because that's not what you're selling.
That's true.
But I've seen them. There's one it was in this market. Unfortunately, I think it sold though. But there was this guy, he looked like Cousin Vinny or something. He was in the kitchen. His arms wide open. Like he's like, hey, welcome to the party.
Hey,
right?
Come
the
on
realtor's
in.
wife is in the background with her back turned, but she's opening a bottle of wine. Like they were all just getting ready to have a good old time.
Down.
I was like, and that's the kitchen picture. Okay, well, number 5, I wrote this in Roman numerals, and I don't know my Roman numeral numbers. Number 5, this is a favorite one too. It's so stupid, but realtor keys and listing paperwork on the kitchen counter.
Move your shit.
It's just not that big a deal. But you're like, come on. Blurry pictures. I know there's some we always joke. It's like, oh, that realtor's so busy he can't even stop to take a picture. He just keeps on walking. Click, click. Or the ones where the realtor can't get out of the car. So the side view mirror is like in the picture because they just sat in their car and rolled the window down and took a picture. And I'm telling you, this happens all the time. Where are these sellers? I want to know. I've asked people this question all the time. Someone out there needs to answer this question for me. Where are those sellers? Why do they not say something? I don't get it.
If they don't see it, if they know it and they don't say anything about it, then there's a real issue. You got to stand up for yourself. Somebody's taking shitty pictures of your house.
I know. Sideways pictures. Okay, I'm going to say it right here. That's just lazy. That's just lazy. I sound mean, but really, there's no excuse.
Flip the camera again.
Well, but no, it's online when they upload the pictures. Rotate.
Not that hard.
And if you don't know, I'll tell you how.
Just you better ask
sideways
somebody.
Pictures, really. Blinding sunspot. Whoever the sun and lighting is really hard. And again, that's why I use a professional photographer because they get where the light's supposed to be.
They know what they're doing.
One of my favorite pictures was a commercial building that was for sale. These commercial buildings have like the mirrored exterior kind of thing. The picture was just a blinding sunspot. There was nothing else, but they're like, well, that's what I have. And so they used it. I'm like, really? Pets. God knows I love them. I really do. But they don't help you sell your home. So try to leave those out of the pictures. And then blank rooms. or pictures of stairs. They'll stand at the top of the stairs and just take a picture of the stairs, and it gives you this like vertigo because you're like, I don't even know what this is a picture of. It's an empty house. And if your realtor told you to neutralize it, you've got beige carpet and white walls, and it doesn't tell anything about the house. There's techniques for that. And we can talk more about that next week. So your gem of this segment is to review the pictures in your listing. Make sure they are good and make sure they won't end up on terriblerealestateagent.com.
I mean, I can't decide if that would be pretty embarrassing. It would kind of be awesome, but you wouldn't want to see your own house, Yeah. Maybe somebody you didn't like.
Right.
Or, I don't know.
You can do it as a hoot.
Right.
Just for fun. If I could get on Terrible Real Estate Agent photos for fun.
Okay. Goal.
I'd be down. Yep.
Show goal.
Yep.
Come up with something bad enough that we can submit it to Terrible Real Estate Agent photos and we get on.
So, okay. So those are seller. That's our first half. Dang, I thought that was going to be a whole show.
Yeah.
Guess not.
A lot more.
Okay, so make sure all of your listings are on the major websites. Make sure your listing data is accurate. Those are all of the things that your realtor should be doing, but as a seller, you need to take some accountability and just make sure, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to put all the work on you sellers, but just follow up and make sure you're good realtors. I would bet you, 99% of the realtors out there do those things. But certainly we've seen all these examples, so there may be one or two. Mm-hmm. Okay. So next week we'll talk more about that. Next week will be October. So maybe we'll talk about haunted houses and zombies and things like that. What do you think?
Sure, it sounds good.
All right.
It's a good time of year.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Rachel. Thank you everyone out there for joining me today for another riveting episode of Real Estate Today with Deb Tomaro. Check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. We are out there. Email me your questions. And as always, we will be back next week. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning into Real Estate Today. Please join your host, Deb Tomaro, for another edition every Tuesday at 12 noon Pacific Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Variety Channel. Until next week, take care of your home. It's one of your most important assets.